What is up, everybody? It's your boy Cameron Bash here, and welcome back to the Movement channel, where today we're coming at you guys with a great video, as not only do we once again get to talk about one of our most anticipated pro wrestling games of the moment, Ultra Violence, but we also have some exclusive information to share with you all today. That's right, folks, exclusive information, because the lead developer behind this game, GackDaw, has been kind enough to answer some questions from us in a small interview to kick off the new year. It has been a little while since we've last spoken about Ultra Violence, so for those of you who don't know, this is a pro wrestling video game being developed that specializes in deathmatch wrestling. From barbed wire to light tubes, explosions to extremely high spots, this game dares to go where no other pro wrestling game has ever gone to before, and that is why it's one of the games that we're most looking forward to. If you're looking for a more in-depth introduction to this game, then we'll leave links to two of our previous videos about it in the description down below, but now that we have the introductions aside, let's get into what you guys came for today and discuss the questions that we asked the developers behind this game. So, seeing as it had been a little while since we had any major updates about this game, we wanted our questions to focus around what state the game was currently in, as well as what the developers plan to do with the game over this next year. We asked 6 questions all, in which GackDaw gave some very insightful answers to. So, to kick us off, we asked, how is Ultra Violence Wrestling coming along at this point in time? Gack said, good. We spent the last half of 2021 putting in solid foundations and implementing a very large move list. You might be surprised at the depth of our move list. Move slot implementations don't present great, but are essential. We're now over the bulk of this and can now progress. It's awesome to hear that the move list has come along nicely, as this was one of the main things being showcased during the last big Ultra Violence update. It's great to hear that the depth of that list is looking to be quite expansive as well, as, yeah, from a smaller game, you may not expect a lot, so it's nice to hear that they seem to have outdone their own expectations at the very least. We next asked, if you were to give a percentage, how far would you say this game is into development right now? Gack said, obviously, this is very hard to answer tangibly. There's a saying that the last 5% of development makes up 90% of the time. I'd say we're over the halfway mark for sure, and the rest of the work to do has all been planned and designed, so we're on a solid footing for the rest of the development now, however long it takes. To hear that we're over the halfway mark, with most of what's left to do nicely planned out and designed, I would say is a very nice update to hear from an indie game like this. The unfortunate reality of game development is that not all small games get finished, so the fact that this one seems to be coming along nicely and has the path to reach the goal at the end of the tunnel is awesome to hear. Our next question was, what's the next most important aspect of the game that needs to be worked on? Gack said, there's 2 big features that I'm really excited to get back to. High spots and weapons. These have taken a step back whilst the foundations were going in, as they're kind of guaranteed fun, but now's the time to start working on them once again. This is obviously the stuff that has so far set the game apart from everything else, so now that they are back in the position to work on this stuff more and take it even further than what we've already seen, it just gets us even more excited for what's to come. Weapons are something that we've only seen in small amounts thus far as well, so it'll be nice to see how far the game lets you take those. Next we asked, what are you most excited for in 2022 when it comes to the game? Gack said, seeing where it gets to. It's been a long time, but it's starting to really form a shape and style of its own, and when all the weapon systems are in, as well as a few secret features, I think it'll really shine. We're also hoping to begin pushing the game forward down different commercial avenues, publishers, funding, etc., which is stressful but exciting. Absolutely sounding like an exciting year. Sounds a bit up in the air right now as to what path they want to go down 100%, but whatever road they decide they want to go down, I'm sure it's going to be a success. Our 5th question, one that I'm sure a lot of you are wanting to know about, was, do you think the game will be in a playable state in 2022? And Gack said, for the developers, sure. I think people have super high expectations, so whatever is the first thing the public plays, it has to be solid. So with that, they'll have an up and running game at some point this year. Whether or not they want to go public or not with that is another thing, and of course, that's great news. Gak is obviously right when he says that we have super high expectations for this game, so we want to play a super clean, polished version of it, not just the first version that we can have as fast as possible. And finally, our last question for Mr. GackDaw was, what's something that you want everyone to know about Ultra Violence that they might not know yet? And Gak's final answer was, I think ultimately, do be aware it's a super small team of people making the game. This isn't a AAA title or even a mid-sized indie. I'd like to think I've shown I'm in it for the long haul, however. I think when people start seeing the high spots and the weapon stuff, it's going to hit all the right buttons for people, and you'll start to get a good idea of what it's all about. It's really nice to hear this straightforward honesty from a game developer, because it's a really easy way to set people's expectations for not only the type of game that is being created, but also the time that it will take to make. For now, you should really treat this game with a what you see is what you get type of attitude. You see high spots, you see crazy weapons, so expect that. But because you don't see an in-depth character creator, and because you don't see super flashy entrances, don't automatically expect that stuff because another wrestling game has it. Because as Gak says here, there is a small team working on this game, and that's not to say that this game won't have those things by any means, but like I said, if you're treated with a what you see is what you get attitude, then you're not going to get disappointed when you don't get something that the game didn't promise you to begin with. Now, I'm not too sure if Gak and his team really have an estimate on when they think this game is going to come out, but based on some of the information that we've received here today from Gak, if I were to put my speculation hat on, I would probably say we'll get our hands on this game sometime towards the beginning of next year at the earliest, potentially this year if we're lucky. But I see a team that is passionate about what they are making here, and they don't want to put out a game that is rushed and doesn't meet expectations, so I really do see them taking their time with it and getting it right, and hey, if that means we're still another year plus from playing this game, then I can wait for that. Greatness doesn't happen overnight, folks, and with what we're seeing from this game so far, it's looking to be a great one, so let's give it all the time that it needs. But anyway guys, that is going to do it for this video. We just wanted to give a special thanks to GackDaw for the interview and sharing all this information about the game with us. We're very excited about what you guys are cooking up, and hopefully we can interview you at various points throughout the game's lifespan. If you guys want to keep up to date with GackDaw and everything he posts about the game, then we'll link his Twitter down below in the video description. Before you head off guys, be sure to let us know in the comments, what are you most excited to see next from Ultra Violence? Gak says that high spots and weapons are back on the menu, so is there anything specific that you want to see? Leave a comment down below and maybe Gak can make it happen. And while you're down there, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more pro wrestling video game coverage. Thanks very much for watching this video guys, and we'll see you soon for another one.